Hey everyone, welcome to the Spinnaker Healthcare Solutions YouTube channel, where our goal is to help program coordinators better utilize, analyze, and understand their data. Today's video is going to be looking at counting the number of cases based on a metric value. If you have any questions after watching this video, feel free to leave a comment or scan the QR code and you'll have access to all our contact information. And feel free to reach out to us if you have any questions, need further explanation, or have ideas for future videos. We'd appreciate any feedback that you give. So we're going to go ahead and open our patient log template, and we're going to go ahead and get started. If you don't have this template already, there's a link listed in the description of this video. Click on that. It'll take you to a Google Drive with the file that you can download, or feel free to reach out to me, and I will make sure that I can either send you an email with the file or anything like that. But we're going to go ahead and get started. So as we see, a lot of times with healthcare programs, from a data analysis standpoint, you're going to want to figure out how many cases, are hitting your time metric goals. So for example, this was pretty common of, maybe 5 or 6 data points that you'd collect for a stroke patient. Doesn't need to be a stroke patient, could be any kind of process that you're looking at. But within Excel, there's a nice function that you can do that will count the amount of rows that apply to, or a various data set, and it will apply a rule and it will count if that rule is applicable or not. So that might sound confusing, but we'll go ahead and walk through this step by step. So let's say you're trying to analyze your data and you want to find the number of cases with a door to thrombolytic of under 45 minutes. We see this as a lot of patients, or a lot of programs are moving away from the 60-minute goal to more of a 45 or 30-minute time goal. So as we see in our data set, our data is located in column H, where we have our door to IV thrombolytic times. So what we're going to do, it's going to be a function. So we're going to start with equals, as you start any function that you want to do in Excel with equals. And we are going to be using the COUNTIF function. So if we open that, you'll see as it's broken up, you are going to identify the range that you want to count. And then there's going to be criteria that you apply to it. So what we're going to do is we're going to select our data, which is going to be H10 through H58 here. Then we hit comma. And now we want to list the criteria. So all the data that is housed in this, as you can see, are numbers. And what we want to do is we want to apply a rule that if that value is less than 45 to count it, and that will then count the number of cases that were under 45 minutes. To do this, you're going to start by doing a parentheses. And then the parentheses will help isolate the actual function that you want to apply. So we're then going to do the less than sign and 45. And then we're going to close the parentheses. So that's the function that we want to kind of apply to it. And then we're going to close the parentheses. And if we hit enter, we get a count of 13. And that, if you want to take the time to actually count, any case that's less than that, less than 45 minutes, you'll see that it is 13. The nice thing about Excel is that now that we have that, you could actually change this really quickly. And let's say we wanted to count all the cases that were under 60 minutes. You just change the number there to 60, and it will re-update. Or you could have multiple different cells where you have different rules, etc. I would just make sure that I would then change this to 60 to keep track of things. But this is a really unique way. I do this a lot with my data sets, where I will count the number. You can apply really complex rules. This is a pretty simple rule. You could also do like count if arrival mode is equal to private vehicle, etc. You could do count if, the day of the year. You could kind of set it within different parameters. You can get really complex with this. But this is a good example of, something that I see a lot that, program coordinators really quickly want to be able to identify and tell people, how many cases they have within 60 minutes or 45 minutes or 30 minutes in a certain time range. So it's really quick to just go into your data set, kind of type this function out and get that value back really quickly without having to comb the data manually and count it yourself. So that's going to wrap up this video. If you enjoyed this video, feel free to like and subscribe so that you can make sure you stay up to date with any videos that we're putting out. Or, as I said, feel free to contact us with any ideas for further videos or any questions that you might have. Thanks. Have a good one.